Hello everyone, this is another episode of what I've been buying recently. And there was a library book sale here in town this past weekend. I picked up a few items. They had a few records there, not many, although I did get some 45s, which is very rare to find old 45s here. But I'll show you a few of the books and what I picked up there. The first is a Jimi Hendrix book. It's called They Died Too Young, and it's a very, very small, cute book about the life of Jimi Hendrix. This book is called The Notorious Byrd Brothers by Rick Menck, and it's part of a series, the 33 and a Third series, where they feature a very popular or famous LP. They do an analysis of the album and a bit of the history of the Byrds. So that one's a good one for Byrds fans. Doo-Wop, the Chicago Scene by Robert Pruder. And doo-wop is a very American kind of thing. There wasn't very much doo-wop up here in Canada. If people were to go out in the street corners in the winter and try to sing and stuff, they'd freeze their nuts off and everybody'd be like a soprano or something. So this is a very much an American kind of thing, and there's some really good doo-wop music. The Life and Times of Danny Gatton, Unfinished Business. It's Danny Gatton's biography. Danny Gatton was just a brilliant guitar player. In many idioms, he sounded a lot like Les Paul, and he played rockabilly with Robert Gordon. Great accomplished guitarist that unfortunately took his own life a few years ago. Trumpet Blues, The Life of Harry James by Peter Levinson. I've read a couple of other books by Peter Levinson, one on Tommy Dorsey and another on Nelson Riddle. He's a good writer, and this is the first time I've ever seen a biography of Harry James. I'm a big fan of big band music, and this should be pretty interesting. Lollipop Lounge, Memoirs of a Rock and Roll Refugee by Genya Ravan. Now, Genya Ravan kind of started off in New York, I believe, and she was in a female rock group back in the 60s called Goldie and the Gingerbreads. They went over to England, had some success in England, and she came back to America, was the lead singer of Ten Wheel Drive, and then she went on to the new wave punk scene in New York and did some production, some more recordings, and this is her biography, and it looks like a pretty interesting book. I picked up 3 albums. There weren't many albums at the sale. The first one I picked up is The Best of Hugo Montenegro, and it has, I don't know whether he had hits per se, but it's a lot of good instrumental music. The second album is Paul Desmond's Bridge Over Troubled Water. Paul Desmond, of course, is famous for the years that he spent with Dave Brubeck. Songs like Take 5 and Blue Rondo a la Turk. And this album is a cover album of Simon and Garfunkel songs. I haven't played this yet. It could be either really good or really cheesy, but well, I guess I'll find out. This is a good one. Gene Vincent Rocks and the Blue Caps Roll. I don't know which of Gene's albums this would have been. I know he had several albums on Capitol in the late 1950s, but you don't see them very often, and I was very pleased to find this one. Now, there was a bag of 45s. None of them had sleeves, but there were some interesting titles, and they're in varying condition. Some are quite good and some are not so good. But it's very rare to find old 45s up here in northern Canada, and I just grabbed them real quick. So I'll go over a few of these with you. Break It to Me Gently, Brenda Lee on Decca. And the flip side is called So Deep, and I noticed it's written by Jackie DeShannon and the late Sharon Sheeley. Tom Northcott and the Vancouver Playboys, Cry Tomorrow, and She Loves Me Not. Now this would be quite a rare Canadian record. Tom Northcott was out of Vancouver in the late 1960s. This is a bit of a comedy record. Andy Stewart, Donald, Where's Your Trousers? Paul and Paula, Hey Paula. This is the Canadian Apex label, Specialty Series, and it's Georgia Gibbs, the Hula Hoop song. And the flip side, it is Keep in Touch. Roy Orbison, Running Scared, and the flip side is Love Hurts. Sam Cooke, Twistin' the Night Away, and the flip, it is One More Time. Jerry Byrd, Invitation to Love. Memories of Maria, and Memories of Maria is written by Roy Orbison, and Jerry Byrd's music, I believe that he is a pedal steel guitar player. This is on the Barry label, which was pressed by Quality Records in Toronto. It's Lonnie Mac's Memphis. On the flip side is Down in the Dumps. That's a Chuck Berry song. Martin Denny, Cast Your Fate to the Wind. And the flip side, it's called The Payoff. On Quality Records again, Canadian pressing, it's The Cress Step by Step. And on the flip, it's G. This is Perry Como, and it's called South of the Border. It's an EP, 6-song EP on RCA. Spartan, Canadian pressing of Cliff Richard's Living Doll. Martin Denny, A Taste of Honey. And on the flip side of this one, it's a song called The Brighter Side, written by David Gates. And of course, David Gates gained fame later on as a member of Bread. Marty Robbins, El Paso. Chris Montez, Let's Dance. Ricky Nelson, Lonesome Town. And on the flip of that, it's I've Got a Feeling. Bert Kaempfert, Wonderland by Night. Montavani, What Kind of Fool Am I?, which is an instrumental version of that song, written by Anthony Newley and Leslie Bricusse. Flip side is Someone Nice Like You. This one's interesting because it's an instrumental by a group called the Tornadoes, British group who had a big hit with Telstar, and they came out of the Joe Meek Studios in London. This is called Riding the Wind. And on the flip, The Breeze Nigh. The Browns, The Three Bells. The Late Al Martino, Spanish Eyes. On Verve Records, Stan Wilson, Marching to Pretoria, and I know nothing about Stan Wilson. The flip side is Lily Marlene. Waltzing Matilda, The Trapp Family Singers. The Shantays, Pipeline. Joey D, The Peppermint Twist, Part 1 and Part 2. The Everly Brothers, Kathy's Clown. And the flip side of that one, Always It's You. Another Gene Vincent record, a single, Wear My Ring. And on the flip, it's Lotta Lovin'. Ray Charles, Busted. On Spartan, Gene Pitney, True Love Never Runs Smooth. Billy Vaughn, Sail Along Silvery Moon. The Beach Boys, Little Deuce Coupe, and the flip is Surfer Girl. The Four Seasons, Walk Like a Man. And Lucky Ladybug. Andy Williams, Marmalade, Molasses, and Honey. Brenda Lee, Fool Number 1. Elvis Presley, Can't Help Falling in Love. an Elvis Presley EP called Follow That Dream, and another Elvis Presley single, She's Not You. I'm running out of time here, so thank you very much for watching.